Hi everyone, this is the Battle of Haslach, 11th of October 1805. This is a Napoleonics game. It is one of the battles from Napoleon's Wheel, published by the Operational Studies Group. I recently did an unboxing of this game, so you can check that out as well. And this is one of the larger maps that comes with the game. It's not a massive battle. It is only sort of 7 or 8 turns, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, something like that. And it's not a huge number of counters on the map. I'll just describe the setup. So we've got some French counters in this area here. There's Ney, for example. And we also have some French counters in this area here. And as you can see, we've got lots of Austrian counters over there. So the French sort of start off on the back foot, really. So what I'll do is I'll do a quick after action for every turn or every other turn, depending on what happens. Keep it pretty brisk. I'm playing this over the course of a few evenings. I've got it set up on one of my tables, and it is actually the first battle from a chronological point of view, I believe, in this particular game. So yeah, looking forward to getting stuck in it. Didn't take long to set up. It's not a huge number of counters, so yeah, I don't think it'll take too long to play through. So at the end of turn 1, the French Ney have started to mobilize forces and moving along this road here, and they'll move up and then cross over the river. And then on this side of the map, on the left-hand side of the map, as I'm looking at the map, the French have managed to get themselves into some better defensive positions. There is some victory points on this hex here. And then the Austrians have managed to start mobilising, moving their troops, moving towards having trying to contend those key hexes there. So at the end of the next turn, and the Austrians have started to get into position, ready to attempt to try and take these key objective hexes here that we can see, and just one there as well. The French moving up, they're just actually Ney and some additional support are just off camera, sort of down this sort of section of the map, as it were, and they'll be moving up to try and support and cross over this river here. There is just off camera. It is just off camera. There is a bridge just over there, and they'll be trying to get to that bridge. The Austrians will try and stop them from moving across that bridge in this narrative that I'm playing out this evening. And yeah. Now it is probably worth me pointing out, I didn't mention it at the beginning, but the weather conditions on this day, at this time of day, which we've just done the 3 p.m. turn, I believe are snow and fog. So there is some gameplay implications, and that was pretty much then set in, looking at the player handout, set in really then for the rest of the game. So there are some gameplay implications for that. So for example, there's some line of sight is blocked because of the snow, for example, and then because of the fog, the movement allowance is slightly hindered, as well as artillery a lot less effective. You can't use any bombardment, so I've got to remember that rule that we are in snow and fog. And now, of course, I've said it out loud. I won't forget. That is the nature of memory, isn't it? So we'll do another turn. So in the last turn again, the Austrians moving into position, starting to get ready to cross this bridge, and they will be fighting across this stream and bridge here. The idea the Austrians have here is to maneuver some of this unit here across this stream here and attack there as well. The French have only got some horse artillery here, and then these units here engaging these two areas there. Now the French in their response and what their plan will be, they've got some reinforcements coming into the next turn, and they also have Ney and some strong reinforcements coming. Again, they're just off their camera. They're sort of at the minute, sort of just down here, and they'll be moving up and taking and holding this objective here. Depends on how that works out. Depends on whether they'll be able to try and take. If assuming the Austrians take this objective, might have a go back at it. We'll see. So in that last turn, yeah, starting to get into the drama now. The French have been pushed out here, and there's very bitter fighting in this area here, with neither side being able to, well, with the Austrians not being able to push the French out of that hex there. Then we've got at the bottom, and it is just off camera, but just there, we have some French, and right at the top here, we also have some French counters as well. So it's going to be a race to see how far the Austrians can get and where the French can get up to in the next couple of turns. So this is turning out to be a closer fought scenario than I first thought. I thought at the beginning the Austrians were going to romp away, as we say, with this one, but this is not the case. The French have put a lot of resistance and have been able to hold this hex here, repulsing the attacks of the enemy. Here the French are pushed out further, but they're just holding basically a just delaying the progress of these counters here, delaying them as they try and approach this area here. And then here, the French have been pushed out of that hex there. But as you can see, we've got a line of French reinforcements coming in here. I think in the last turn, so technically we've got one more turn to do. I probably will do another turn, a hypothetical turn, just to see. And I often use this technique to learn a game better and get better at playing the game. And then here, we've got some French here, so they're going to be, yeah, I mean they're near enough going to be able to take that. Yeah, so we'll do that. So we're going to call the game there. So the Austrians were able to take these two victory point hexes here. The French, these two here, which pretty much makes it even sort of Stevens, as it were. The very little casualties for both sides. What was interesting was that, and I just played out another quick turn hypothetically in my head to see what would have happened, and it would have been pretty much the same as is now, really. I think this is the first time I've played this particular scenario, so I probably play these sort of scenarios a half a dozen times, something like that, over the course of playing through the game. What I normally do is I'll play this one and I'll play the next one and so forth, game back on the shelf, pull the game back off the shelf and go through the scenarios again over the course of maybe a week or something like that. It definitely a fun, quite interesting wargaming evening. I definitely felt I could have played both sides a lot better, and that's, there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of the enjoyment I get out of playing war games, is this sense of constantly learning how to play the game a little better. But when you're playing solo like I'm doing this evening, I'm playing really for the story and the narrative, and the game definitely had that. I felt, especially the last two turns, it was quite tense. I actually thought the Austrians would be able to have pushed a lot further than they were able to, and that's probably partly down to the way that I played them, if I'm being honest. But again, it's all learning. So yeah, very enjoyable wargaming evening. I look forward to playing more of the scenarios in this game. And thanks a lot for watching, as ever. Thank you.